Are you seeing it out there? People catch a bug, they get sick. They're coughing their lungs out. They're really sick. They got fevers going up and down. They start to recover. They go to a doctor. They get on an antibiotic, whatever it is. They start to recover. And then they stay sick. They think they're going to recover and bounce back completely, but they're dragging. Or 2 weeks later, they're doing a little better, and then it hits them and they're dragging and they're going down. And what's happening out there, people are getting sick, and then they're falling into this chronically ill trigger, and now they're getting all these different things like brain fog and weird tingles and numbness on their body and aches and pains and fatigue and brain fog again, and they just don't feel themselves. And now they're triggered into something entirely different because of the bugs going around right now. Right now in New England, in the United States, there's a stomach flu, norovirus, and it's pounding the crap out of people right now up there. And it's heading through the United States and around the world. And it's giving people like insane diarrhea and gut disturbances. And we're going to cover that a little bit because I want to talk about that. Like, what does it do in the gut? Like, what happens? There's people all about, microbiome. Well, what happens if you get the norovirus and you got the stomach flu and it's ripping through your guts and you're sitting there and you're just diarrhea, vomiting too, and diarrhea, and then what? Like, what happened? How's your microbiome then? Is it all fixed? Is it all great? What's it like? Nobody really talks about that. They don't talk about what happens when, boom, you get that norovirus and you got the stomach flu, and then is your microbiome, is that going to get back to normal? Wasn't even normal to begin with, and is it going to get back to normal eventually? Or is it going to be out of balance now for another 2 years until we get another stomach flu? So I'm talking about a bunch of different things, okay? There's a lot of bugs out there. Quick announcement too, did you hear the episode, the Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcast, Black Tongue? Did you hear the episode? The black tongue syndrome. So many people get it. There's a whole thing about it with metals and everything else. I talk about in the episodes, the Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcast, black tongue. I've seen people get the black tongue and they're sitting there with the toothbrush and they're like scrubbing, and they injure their tongue. They're trying to do everything they can. They're rinsing with salt water. They're rinsing with mouth rinses. They're rinsing with everything under the sun, and they can't get rid of that black tongue. Have you ever seen that out there? People get that, and it's just like it's coming, it's going, it's coming, and then sometimes it's just jet black for a very long time, right in the center of the tongue, going swiping all the way down. So check out Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcast. Please listen to it when you get a chance. It's an amazing, informative show about black tongue, discolorations, and so forth and everything. I'm sure so many of you guys have had discolorations with the tongue, so it's good information, very important. But I'm here to talk about our immune system and how it's getting pretty beat up these days with what people are going through. Do you know anybody that's coughing? Do you know anybody that's got a sore throat and a fever? Do you know anybody who's been hit with anything that's going on? Because people have been getting hit. It's like a insurgence of it happening right now. This is like one of those hot spots we're in where it's just really starting to pick up pace. I hear it all the time. People are sick for a month with it, coughing out their lungs, the whole bit. But then to add insult to injury, there is a norovirus stomach flu, hyper catchy. That's actually streaming right out of New England right now, and it's going to be cutting across the country and overseas and everywhere else. And that one really sucks. Really, really sucks. So what I'm doing right now is the reason why I'm even here is because I'm saying, are you taking care of your immune system? Are you taking care of your immune system, right? So I have my family on this right here, just a safeguard. I need to safeguard my family and my closest friends, safeguarding them too and all that. So that's the total immune blend. Do you have it? And what's crazy out there is what I'm seeing right now is all these different supplements are coming out. It's like crazy, right? And they're claiming all this stuff, but they don't work. They don't work. And you look what's in them. It's like, yeah, all poor quality crap, all garbage, whatever, you name it. And they just don't work. It's so sad. That's what I'm seeing out there. You guys know I endorse these guys. This is Vimergy, V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, ERGY. I'll get a close-up too on this right here. This is the Total Immune. I'm living off of it to protect myself because I can't get sick right now with any kind of cold or anything like flu, anything like that. I use the term cold, but you know how there's no colds anyway. But it's just back in stock. It's back in stock. So I'll give you a little close-up on this before I move on, because we're going to talk about some stuff in the immune system, which is really important. So that's Total Immune Blend right there. There it is. That's the Vimergy. I don't know if you guys see it. There it is. Very important, critical resource right there. It's got the thyme, it's got the mullein, it's back in stock. It's sold out like this when it came out. So a lot of people armed themselves and armed their immune systems for what was coming. But I want to talk about even more than that. I want to go into like what people are dealing with post getting sick and what they're dealing with pre getting sick. Because everybody has immune system problems. And that's a big thing right there all on its own. If you got a symptom, if you got any kind of symptom, if you got any kind of condition, if you've been diagnosed with a condition, if you're struggling with any kind of symptom, immune system, right there, anything. People who are dealing with cancer, immune systems broke down. People are dealing with all kinds of different things like fibro and RA and Lyme and anything, immune system. People that are dealing with all kinds of aches and pains and tingles and numbness and vertigo and ringing in the ears and dizziness and balance issues, immune system. We have injured, depleted, diminished immune systems, and that's what people live with every single day. If you know somebody and they're getting things and they're getting symptoms and they're struggling, yeah, it's their immune system. It's struggling. That's the whole point. It can't handle exposures. It can't handle the toxic heavy metal exposures. And then the herbicide and the fungicide exposures and the fragrances and the caffeine addiction. It can't handle, the immune system can't handle that. So many people are drowning themselves with coffee and espresso drinks, and they're just beating the crap out of their immune system. So our immune system is just under attack all the time. And so eventually what that leads us to is a sickness. No matter what, everyone is going to get a symptom, no matter what. You see somebody out there right now, they're on social, like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm into fitness, I'm into this. You're going to have a symptom. You're going to have a symptom. It's going to come later maybe, but you're going to be pushed over the edge, too many exposures, your immune system's going to finally kick down, and you're going to be in the immune system pit, just like everybody else. So keeping our immune system strong is critical. Having immune system power is critical. Having it strong, and you'll hear things out there like, you don't want your immune system too strong. Oh, you don't? Really? Like, okay, whose immune system is too strong? Somebody tell me, whose immune system is so strong? You know? I mean, even like the best influencers out there talking about health and everything, they're dealing with immune system problems. That's how they got into it anyway. They got into the health industry in general because they got problems, and they're seeing their naturopath and their herbalist and their acupuncturist and their MD and their DO, and they're seeing everybody because they got all these problems. Because everybody's immune system is challenged. That's the day and age we're in. We're in the age of the quickening right here. This is the quickening where shit just speeds up and speeds up and speeds up. Stuff is happening real fast out there, and sickness and disease is climbing at an all-time high, and it's staying climbing and climbing and climbing. 2030, so many people are going to be sick. 2035, it's going to be unbelievable on how many people are going to be sick. Everybody's going to be sick, and everybody's going to be on social talking about their sicknesses. That's what's going to happen. It's going to dominate social entirely to a point where all articles out there, all the media is going to be talking about sickness. Everybody's going to be talking about sickness stories. This is just what it's going to be by 2030. Nothing but sickness, sickness, sickness everywhere. And that's the world we live in. That's the world we're going to be living in. And that's how crazy it really is when you really think about it, right? I mean, did you ever expect that? Did you ever expect that? Yeah, you're not alone. So let's talk about the immune system a little bit and why it's so important to support it. Not just support it, rebuild it. Rebuild it. Critical. It really is. Writing for Truth on IG says, do you take the Total Immune blend every day, even when not sick? I do. I take it every single day, even when not sick. I take it every day, okay? But you can take it every day, right? Do what your doctor wants to do, but I tell my family, you can take it every day, but you can take a smaller dosage if you're not sick every single day. Then when you get sick or you're struggling with something, you can increase the dosage to whatever doctor believes or however. What's in it? A blend of thyme and mullein and a little touch of zinc. It's this perfect combination right here. And what people don't realize, it's the quality of the thyme on top of it. It's the quality of the mullein that you don't get in other places. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't. I know the quality. I know what they do. I know how they do it. And it's unbelievable. It's about making sure that alcohol wasn't used, that alcohol's not involved in any level, making sure all these different things matter, that this is really clean. But the real thing, not everybody saying, good quality, this is good quality. Everybody's allowed to say that. Did you know that you're allowed to say everything's good quality? Did you know that? Anybody who just opens up a door, hangs a shingle, and sells something, they're allowed to say, our quality's great. Nothing beats our quality. There is a difference. Huge difference. That's important to know. It really is. On IG, Roxy says, where can I buy it? That's Vimergy, V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, ERGY, Vimergy.com. Link. Check out the link in the description. So yeah. Details matter. Details matter. I agree. I see that right there. Okay, so let's go into it a little bit. All right. Couple of things to know. One is, why are immune systems so chopped up? Why are they so beat up? And that's something that nobody really talks about. They're just like, this is immune supportive. Immune supportive. Everybody's immune system is just beaten to a pulp, basically, and that's why everybody's so sick. It's struggling immune system. You got to remember that. If there's anything someone's dealing with, instantly the immune system is under siege. Under siege. If someone's got panic attacks, and they got the tightened chest, and they got that vagus nerve, I talk about that vagus nerves, the inflammation, and they're dealing with all kinds of anxiety and panic and all these other things, immune system. Everything is like that. Thyroid condition at all? Thyroid, anybody? Hypothyroid, hyperthyroid, any kind of thyroid problems at all? Anything? Graves, whatever it is, nodules in the thyroid, whatever it is, immune system was challenged. The thyroid's immune system was challenged. The liver's immune system was challenged and then weakened and then kicked down a notch. So people walk around with weak immune systems. That's what they do all day long. And then the thyroid disorders creep up. And then the panic and the aches and pains creep up. And then the vertigo and the tinnitus and the tingles and numbness and the body aches and pains and the trigeminal neuralgia all creep up. Because their immune system is suffering, their immune system is struggling. So very important to know. So let's talk about like stomach flu. I want to go into that a little bit, stomach flu. Okay? So the reason why I would take like something every single day, or I tell family to take something every single day, like I tell my family, take a little bit of this, take a little bit of the propolis every single day, right? A little bit of the golden seal every single day. This is what I tell my family to do all the time. And a little bit of B12. And I want to talk about why B12 is critical. Because when we catch something like the norovirus or white lung, which is really hurting a lot of people. I mean, they get scar tissue in the lung that lasts forever. I mean, that's just unfair. Like, why do they put bugs out there like this so that we get injuries in our lungs? And then for a lifetime, we actually have scar tissue in our lungs. Like, does that make any sense? So I tell my friends and family, it's critical to get B12 in you especially after you've been hit with something, because you need that extra B12 to power up the nerves. So important, that alone, okay? And so what I'm telling my family right now, with all these hard times of people getting sick, because it's really sad when you see somebody really struggling. They get what feels like a cold to start with, then it lingers, then it runs into a fever and up and down, and then after that, when they're better, they're not better. Because now their immune system was dropped and they were triggered into something else. An Epstein-Barr rising up out of nowhere. Herpes simplex 1 rising up from nowhere. Because that's what's happening to people. People are getting shingles a month after they get white lung. A month later, they have the shingles. Because their immune system was so kicked down to the bottom that the shingles virus said, this is my time to shine. And then it comes up and it just, boom, it's up there. Let's talk about the norovirus that's coming around and it's circulating right now and it's kicking up. So right now there's a stomach bug out there, and what people don't realize is that a stomach bug can knock your gut balance off for a really long time. Really long time. But what you'll never see out there is what happens inside the intestinal tract when that bug is around. So let's go into that. Let's try to like makeshift a little bit of an intestinal tract, okay? So let's do that. We'll makeshift a little bit of a colon here, right? All right. And then we'll just do a little intestinal tract in the center here. If you guys can see this, okay? So you pick up the stomach flu, pick up the norovirus, you get it in your mouth. Just goes in you. You breathe it in, it's on your tongue. Now it's heading down to your gut, okay? And it's on its way. So that virus is getting there, okay? Virus goes down the duodenum. It starts in your stomach, right? It goes down your stomach, in your duodenum. It's heading in there. And what that virus is doing is it's multiplying really fast, and it's feeding off of foods that you eat. So it's multiplying, it's exploding. So what a stomach virus does is it proliferates at a speed no other bug proliferates. No other bug fires up to that degree, to multiplies to that degree, spawns to that degree. But the norovirus explodes, and it feeds off of undigested proteins. It feeds off of gluten that's in the system from something you ate a week ago. Yeah, a week ago. It feeds off of any egg residue, egg material, any kind of egg material in your gut. It feeds off of that. And then it feeds off of any dairy products. And then it feeds off of other things. It'll feed off of soy, potentially. It'll feed off of virtually anything, right? So what it does is it feeds and it explodes. It produces itself rapidly, and it's highly toxic. So what the norovirus is it's a bug that when it produces, the bug then goes to the intestinal lining walls and it starts to make divots. It starts to basically try to poke holes in your intestinal tract and your colon, but nobody talks about this. They're just like, you got a stomach bug. You know, that's it. Wait till it's over and then take a probiotic. So that's what they'll say. Some of the best functional medicine doctors will be like, well, you got a stomach flu. Go to the hospital. You got a stomach flu. And then make sure you get on our probiotics at our clinic or our doctor's office. Make sure you get on our probiotics. So that's all they do. But what people don't realize is that virus is mean. Really mean. So stomach bugs, stomach flus explode. They multiply fast, real fast. Thousands upon thousands of replicas. Then all those bugs end up attaching themselves to everything. The stomach lining, the duodenum lining, the top of the small intestinal tract, all through. And as it's happening, if you have a weakened immune system, it's not slowing it down. It's not stopping it. Instead, that person is now diarrhea. They got stomach pains. They're really nauseous. They got a fever cranking up. Because their immune system isn't stopping it. It's not breaking it down. So their immune cells there's not enough immune cells, number one, to stop the norovirus to that degree. And if someone has a weakened immune system, then they really have very small amounts of immune cells going into this area trying to stop the norovirus. So the norovirus, the stomach flu, the stomach bugs, what they do is they attack the linings of the small intestinal tract, and this is why people get pockets later. This is why people get divots, diverticulitis, diverticulosis. This is why people end up with Crohn's later on, meaning a trigger to get into Crohn's, where other bugs can actually contribute. It's all about knocking the immune system down, allowing other problems to happen. There's people who get stomach flus that never have a normal stomach intestinal tract ever again in their life. They don't know how to recover it. They don't know how to rebuild it. They don't know about mono eating from the Medical Medium book series. They don't know about all these different things they can do. They're just stuck. Their intestinal tract is rocked for a very long time. And then if they're older and they're not younger and they're older, it affects them even more because they already have intestinal tract issues on so many levels. So the norovirus explodes and then it attaches itself to the linings of the intestinal tract. And if you're somebody that has pockets of undigested protein from a weak liver that I talked about in the last episode, or if you're somebody that's dealing with anything like putrefied, rancid fats that are caked along your intestinal tract, old fecal matter that's just stuck there and plastered against the intestinal linings, and bad bacteria like strep, it all rises up. So the norovirus and the stomach flus and the stomach bugs go ripping through you, and then it awakens all the strep, all the staph, all the tiny bits of C. diff that you were keeping under control, just managing, your immune system was managing all this time. And then what happens is we get triggered. Now we have all kinds of intestinal tract disturbances years later, down the road, a month later. So as the virus is ripping through the gut, it's clinging to the wall of the intestinal tract, and it starts to try to burrow holes inside the intestinal tract. Just like white lung is doing to people when they're getting the C, and they're getting the flu and the C and the RSV and the white lung right now, and it's going in, it's injuring lung sacs. Well, the stomach flu is created, manufactured to injure the lining of your intestinal tract. Stomach, duodenum, and so forth. It's there to scar tissue and burrow and weaken the lining and wake up other predators that lie inside of our intestinal tract, like the strep and the C. diff and different varieties of staph and the H. pylori. So as that norovirus and that stomach flu is ripping through and exploding, and people are having like explosions of diarrhea, and they're sick and they're nauseous and they're throwing up, or they're fevered and they're getting the runs, and they're really struggling for a day or two, sometimes a week. Right now there's one that's ripping through that's really messing people up. And when that's happening, it wakes up the strep, it wakes up C. diff, it wakes up staph, it wakes up other bugs like viruses that could be in the intestinal tract. And then it tries to burrow holes in the linings, because that's what it does. The bugs go in and they try to destroy tissue. So they're cell destroyers. The reason why we're having diarrhea and fever and everything else around it is because our body's reacting. And mucus is being produced off the lining of our intestinal tract because it's burrowing little holes, tiny little divots in our intestinal tract. And so our intestinal tract is releasing gobs and gobs of mucus and water and mucus. And it's just streaming out. It's streaming out to try to defend against the invader. But the invader causes a lot of havoc, wreaks a lot of havoc. And a probiotic is not going to fix it. After a really bad stomach flu, a fever, and also intestinal tract being invaded like that, it takes time to heal. It takes time to eat the right foods. It takes time to understand what you're doing. And it's critical to keep the immune system strong. So I just wanted to show you that right there, and there's other stuff to talk about because we are here talking about the fun stuff for sure. All right, let me move this over a little bit. Okay. It takes a tremendous amount of adrenaline to fend off any bug that's out there right now. Any kind of flu, any kind of C, any kind of white lung RSV, any kind of norovirus or stomach virus, it takes adrenaline. Heart rate goes up. As you're getting sick, your heart rate goes up. That's how it works. Because epinephrine is being released, adrenaline is being released to try to protect you. But adrenaline itself doesn't help the immune system. So what these bugs do and these viruses do, they get into us. When they get into us, our adrenals end up fire alarming it and releasing all this adrenaline to try to, because that's actually this response, this autonomic response that's happening immediately when an invader enters into our system. But as it's happening, our immune cells are struggling even more because we have so much adrenaline pouring into our bloodstream. And immune cells hate adrenaline. Hate adrenaline. It holds them back. It keeps them from functioning as good as they can function. So our immune cells need fuel. Need fuel. And that's why I talk about, like, I have my family and my closest friends on protocols. I have them on supplements. It's critical. Because when you get sick, if you're somewhere, and look, no one has it perfect where, well, man, you know what? I could be wrong about that. There's people on Instagram that they never have to work a day in their life, right? They're young, they come from money or something, or they're just extremely wealthy or whatever it is. Everything's taken care of, and all they have to do is sleep 12 hours every night. They could sleep as many hours as they want. They don't have to stress out about work. They don't have to, they just worry about their appointments. Their stress is their appointments. Like, I'm getting my lymphatic drainage here. I'm getting this here. I'm doing this here. I'm going on a vacation here with my friends here. I'm going to Europe, whatever it is. That's their stress, right? And there are people like that. And they can at least protect themselves because they're not living with a lot of real life scenarios, situations. They're not trying to work 3 jobs to survive. They don't have, like all these problems in their life, meaning from other family members or something happening, and they don't, there's a lot going on in a lot of people's lives. And we can't help it because there's so many people that don't have that perfect life where they can just relax all day long and never have to worry about working a day in their life. There's a lot of people that are struggling and they have to fight to survive. And when you do that, right, we're always up against a lot. And it's important to keep our immune system strong. And eventually someone who has it really good in their life and they're young and strong now still will get symptoms later. They'll still wind up in trouble. They'll still wind up sick. I see it all the time, but it usually comes later instead of early. Let's see. Sole Purpose on IG says, my fiance was just sick 3 times in 6 weeks. Flu bug, stomach flu bug, and then flu bug again. Now, lots of crazy symptoms. So he's joined me in medical meeting protocols this week. Now, that's exactly the example. I'm so sorry you're going through that. First of all, I want to say that that's awful. That's awful. But that's how they set it up. You have to understand. That's how they set it up. So that's what they do. Okay? So let's do a different little thing on the whiteboard. Okay? I don't know why my whiteboard doesn't really work that right. I really don't know. Okay. So, all right. Okay. Excuse me for my artistry work. Okay. All right. Can I put a little chimney up here? All right. Okay. That is the bug manufacturing plant. That's what that is. That's right. That's the bug manufacturing plant. Yes, indeed. Okay? And here are some houses over here. Some roofs. Okay? There's some different houses everywhere. There's a little village here. Lots of different roads. You like this quick art? This is really great. Right? It's a building up here with some chimneys here. Whatever. That's the village. The village. The innocent people. Okay? There it is. And the manufacturing plant, they just let out all kinds of stuff out their front door. That's what they do. They let out lots of bugs. Lots of bugs. And they do it purposely and they time it just right. Okay? And these bugs end up going to the village and everybody gets sick. Apologize for my writing, my artistry skills. I did not go to art school. And I wish I did. I really do. Anyway, listen. So check this out, you guys. Bugs are layered on top of bugs purposely. So they release them with a schedule. Okay? So there's a schedule. There it is here. Got all the different days of the month. Right? Here's the first, here's the second, here's the third, the fourth, the fifth. Each month, they release one flu bug on the first of whatever day of the month they want to release it on. When they know it's gotten out there good enough and it's running its course, they time it and they have schedules and they release another one on another month. Maybe they'll release it on the third. Okay? They layer the manufactured bugs purposely so it kicks the crap out of people. They want you to be triggered and injured so you're kept down and you feed the system. That's how it's done. See? So you catch the one flu 6 weeks ago, you catch another flu 3 weeks ago, you catch the stomach flu last week. It's layered. They put them out like that. And they want everybody in the village to get sick. Everybody. And they want older people, elderly people to die. Correct. They want them to die and get knocked off. That's how it's done. They want them sick and they want them gone. That's how the system is set up. It's a kind of a fun little system, isn't it? They manufacture the bugs and then they stick the bugs in a containment unit with a bunch of white mice. And they see if the mice all die. They see if the mice live. They see if the mice cough and choke on phlegm. They see if the mice have diarrhea all around the mouse tank. And then they kind of say, well, we're ready. And they eventually let it out. That's the system. That's the way it's built. Lady Kath over there in IG just said, I really appreciate how you pointed out that most of us have so many stresses bringing down our immune systems. Indeed, everybody does. I am included in that. I am not immune to that. I have stress just like anybody else. Plenty of it. In fact, a lot of it. And that's what happens when you have the most healing stories on the planet of people healing. You have the most people with multiple sclerosis that got out of wheelchairs in history. The information that's so advanced, every single, somebody in the influencer world is stealing and poaching it and using it because they can't get their own information. And all these people are healing around the world and it creates a tremendous amount of stress. That's how it works. You're not allowed to get people better in large quantities. You're allowed to get one or two people better and be like, hey, I got somebody better. You're not allowed to get millions of people better, hundreds of thousands of people better that weren't supposed to get better. You're not allowed to do that. Not on planet Earth. So my stress is great. Camellia says, Anthony, the flu bug got around our household, but we were able to stop it in its tracks with vitamin C shock and zinc shock therapy, plus time water. Thank you so much for these tools. I'm all pumped up from that. That's actually exciting. And I love hearing that because it's that powerful and that helpful. So, let me make some vitamin C shock therapy. Let me do that. I'm going to have some now, if you guys don't mind. Looking for some utensils here. So I'm going to pop some vitamin C in there, just like that. I got some honey over here too. I'm going to pop a little bit of honey in here. And then I'm going to get some water going. Some warm water. Got that going, right? Let's see. I got some orange juice right here. This is what I've been doing. Fresh squeezed orange juice, by the way, you guys. Right? That's a luxury. That is a luxury. Seriously. Like going out and getting oranges. Just really good oranges, if you could find them. Right? Squeezing them. Making a glass of fresh squeezed orange juice is an incredible luxury here. Okay? See, not everything is all bad down here. Okay? Anyway, I got some water warming up as we speak. There we go. Give it a second. Warming it up right now. So, Micro C is what I'm using for this right here. Do you guys know about this? Can I show you? This is also a collagen builder. And the one thing about medical medium information is I was the first to blow the horn on the BS bullshit collagen market, where the collagen market was selling all this collagen, but you can't build collagen eating collagen, just like you can't fix your eye eating an eyeball. You can't eat a pig's eyeball to fix your eyeball. You can't eat a liver to fix your liver. It doesn't work. That's not how it works. You can't rebuild collagen in your body. You can't rebuild collagen in your body eating collagen. It's not going to happen. So medical medium information was the first to call that out, that you can't get better on collagen. You can only build your collagen with collagen builders. That's how you do it. All right, so I got some water heated up right here. I'm going to add a little bit of orange juice to this as well. This is the vitamin C shock therapy. This water got a little toasty. A little bit toastier than I probably wanted it. So let me get some nice cold orange juice in there. Fresh squeezed orange juice. Look at that. Nice. Can I have a double espresso, please? Can I have an espresso coffee, an espresso drink? Can I have a coffee with 2 espressos put into the coffee? You know I'm kidding, though. You guys know I'm kidding. So this is the Micro C Immune Power. Okay? This also is incredible for the skin. Incredible for the skin. Incredible for the immune system. That's an immune builder. Difference. Huge difference. Okay? So I'm doing what you were doing, right, for your family. You're doing the vitamin C shock therapy. Incredible. I'm going to mix it really good. This has a little bit of the honey in there. It's got the fresh squeezed orange juice. It's got the warm water. See, Anna over there on IG says, I love that Micro C. I have been doing the skin potion and it helps so much my eczema on my face. Incredible. I have a lot of people doing this for the skin right now. A lot of people, by the way, friends and family and so forth. See, Trace over there on IG, I'm doing the Micro C orange juice and MSM, and I've noticed my bruises from post-surgery in my physical therapy treatments disappear. Incredible, so much quicker, game changer. Hope I read that right. Incredible. So that's the Micro C. That's the Total Immune. Okay? Things that work is what I care about. Things that work. It matters. It's critical. I'm seeing a lot of stuff being put out there. Everybody wants to pop a supplement out there. I don't blame everybody. Everybody wants to put a supplement out there. I don't blame them. And you guys know I don't own Vimergy. This is not my company. I don't have shares in the company. I don't have stock in the company. I don't have a percentage in the company. You guys know that, right? Because I know BS goes around and stories go around. I do not own any part of Vimergy on any level. People need to know that. It's not my brand. It's not my company. Very important. But it's the only company I trust at this point to the degree that I trust. I know the people. I've known them for a long time now. I trust them. I trust that they won't let me down and my people down. They won't. And they stay literally like straight as you can be on making sure the stuff is that incredible. That's why I support them. That's why I endorse them. The skin potion helps with my spots and they disappearing. Whoa, on IG. That's incredible. Okay? So anyway, you guys know about the MSM2. That's another thing for the skin, which is incredible. Skin and joints and everything. So the MSM, that's an amazing one with silica. And that's a whole game changer all on its own. I mean, this is actually exciting. This cheers me up because I've been wanting to talk about some of the things that I'm using, my family's using. The medical medium skin potion, have you tried it? Which is the MSM. It's the vitamin C, right? The micro C. And let me just be clear about this so you guys know, okay? If you're interested. This isn't ascorbic acid. This isn't the thing that burns holes in people's stomachs. That's what I'm talking about. That's a difference with Vimergy. That is the difference right there. Because people don't realize that they go and take the ascorbic acid, and next thing you know, they got the runs, they got diarrhea, they got stomach upset. It's burning their linings. It's burning their gut. If they're sensitive, they had ulcers in the past, and they're taking all that ascorbic acid. It's sitting there like sizzling up the ulcers. Like I can't even go there. Like I will never take an ascorbic acid, straight ascorbic acid vitamin C ever again in my life. I've taken it when there was nothing else available out there in the world. I've taken it when there was nothing available. I will never, ever, ever take an ascorbic acid, straight ascorbic acid, vitamin C ever again. Ever. And so I'm just like, I know that I'm blessed to know that this is out there for me to take personally, for my health, and for people to take personally for their health. And I'm blessed to know that this is actually here. It's incredible. This isn't about like supplementation and supplements and selling supplements. This is about stuff that literally is critical for life. Like because of what it is and what they do. It's a real mission. That's the difference with Vimergy and then people just trying to hawk supplements, grifters, selling and hawking supplements because they're just trying to make a buck. Big difference. I don't own this company. I don't have a percentage, a share, stock, nothing in this company. But I'll tell you right now, I know what they're doing and it's unbelievable. And that's why I endorse them, like flying colors kind of thing. Anyway, here's the micro C shock therapy. Can I actually have a little bit of it if you guys don't mind? Julie Tuesday, I read all your comments on YouTube. And you're always helping people too. Julie, you're always helping people as well. You're always like letting them know stuff and everything. And I always read them. Julie Tuesday 144. Vimergy products have really helped me get through some tough times. I can feel the difference. There is a difference. Thank you for saying that. Sage Star over there on YouTube. Thanks for the honesty, and your protocols are helping me stop multiple sclerosis in its tracks. Dang right. You fight for it. You fight for it. Okay? And that it's critical to fight for it. So many people recovered from MS. So many people with information. So important. So important. Anyway, okay. I'm just going to sip this right now. I can't help it. I want to have a little real quick here. We're talking about norovirus. We're talking about flu. We're talking about C, RSV, white lung. But then we're talking about like what happens when the scale is tipped so much. You guys, how I've been talking about the scale tipping all this time and death by 1,000 cuts for like years, right? And now I just saw like someone just said that someone was on a podcast, like some influencer guy was on some podcast doctor or something was on a podcast and talking about scale tipping, death by 1,000 cuts. I'm like, dude, get your own stuff. Get your own stuff. But that's what's happening. The scale's tipping, and that's what these bugs do. It knocks them down, and their immune system then struggles. Their immune system is already struggling, and now they're sick. And it's unfair. It's not right that this happens to people. We shouldn't have to live our lives sick. Life is short as it is. Life is short as it is. Okay? We're not living to 500 years old. We're not living to 400 years old, right? It's another story I want to talk about on a spiritual talk one day. Maybe I'll do that on like the IG broadcast, right? Are you guys actually signed up to my IG broadcast? Are you guys signed up to that? Where I send you the direct message? Maybe I'll talk about it there and on my Telegram as well. So I want to talk about why, this is interesting, why in the Bible people were living to 1,000 years old, really early on, living to 900 years old, living to 1,100 years old. I'm going to talk about that, about how that happened and what was going on. If you guys actually are interested in that kind of information, I'm not sure, but I want to drop some stuff on that, maybe on Medical Medium podcast as well, at Apple Podcasts. Check out the Black Tongue episode on Medical Medium podcast if you haven't checked that out. All right? Okay. All right. Just going to sip this real quick. Micro C. Medical Medium shock therapy. Love it. Powerful and delicious. You put a little bit of honey in there and you have a little bit of that fresh squeezed orange juice in there. Right? Incredible. All right. I'm going to get the total immune out. I want to do a little total immune shot. MeTube787 on YouTube. Good to see you. All right. You're out and about. What's the IG handle, please? The IG handle, please. Medical Medium? It's Medical Medium. Marissa Spiritual, good to see you too on YouTube. I read your comments too. Yes, AW, they are stealing your verbiage. Oh, are they ever? Information constantly about metals too, right? Stuff that isn't anywhere, science or nowhere. Where did they get it? They just came out of thin air. Where'd it come from? I know. It's so dark and it's coming out of them. Yeah, I know. It's actually sick. And then they're running ads to the medical medium community with the medical medium information. How sick is that? Pretending they came up with it or something. It's actually despicable. Like, how can people live with themselves? It's because they're slimy. Kimberly says, I have been listening to your new podcast. They are awesome. Thank you. Thank you for listening. And I'm going to put out a stream of them, a steady stream of Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. Don't miss them. Make sure your notifications are on. Make sure you're always checking in case you don't get notified. Yeah, I know. Okay. So the total immune is really revolutionary all on its own, okay? It's like with me, I know that people need their immune system strengthened, but they need them rebuilt. Not just fortified, not just strengthened, not just supported, but rebuilt. Because that's the kind of immune system trouble so many people are in. Thyroid problems, hyper, nodules, cysts on the thyroid, whether they're tiny or large. People that deal with all kinds of issues under the sun. Everything from neurological problems, from skin problems. Our immune systems are under attack from everything from fragrances and anything. People who drink alcohol. It's another thing. Did you know that it was taboo? You guys, on another note, can't help it. You know that it was taboo to utter the word you can't do alcohol. Like, it's bad for you. It's not good for you. It's not going to help you. Even all the vegan doctors, podcast doctors, all drink wine, champagne, everything, right? Vodka, all drink, okay? And then suddenly now, years after I've been talking about how bad alcohol is, and I was getting crap for it. That was taboo. You weren't allowed to talk about it on a podcast anywhere. You weren't allowed to talk about it on social. You mentioned that alcohol was bad. Everybody, the gauntlet came down on you, man, to chop off your head. I'm not kidding. But yet I stayed with it, talked about the book, stayed with it, was heavy on it, said, no, you can't do this. If you want to heal, you got to get off alcohol. It's bad for you, whatever. And then now, guess what? They're all parroting it now, like, yeah, alcohol's bad for your brain. Really? Because science doesn't say that. Where did you get that idea? All right. Look, what I like about Total Immune, okay, is the fact that it works. That's just one right off the bat. Memi over there on YouTube. I noticed that Mayo Clinic now talks about non-rashing shingles. No mention of the source. There is a hijacking of the medical medium non-rashing shingles information, both there at Mayo, PubMed, wherever, all of it. Like, they've just hijacked medical medium information with no science and no studies behind it. No studies behind it. And when you look at whatever they show, check this out. How sick is this? When you look at what they show, they're talking about post-herpetic pain when the rash goes away. But they're trying to chalk that up as it's non-rashing shingles. No, they had the rash, it went away, and then they had pain for a year. So Science and Research did do a couple of papers where you have pain for a year or more after shingles, but that's not non-rashing shingles. Non-rashing shingles is medical medium information. It's having shingles, never a rash ever, and having symptoms, right? Well, now they're claiming they knew that when they didn't. No science to back it up, but Mayo and everybody else is using medical medium information on that. It's just crazy. It's crazy. You know what? There's good news though, because they're so evil that when you leave here, that evil, and you don't make good with that, you don't resolve it, you don't work on that, you don't come clean about like how many people you screwed over with chronic illness that couldn't get back to the source to heal, and it's your fault that so many people aren't going to heal because you were evil and you didn't care and you stole that information to just manipulate people, and then you're on your deathbed many years down the road. You think you're just in the clear with that? You think you're in the clear? I'll say my medicinal home on YouTube. Propolis shock therapy is in the Brain Saver protocol book. It helped heal my canker sores. And that's the propolis right there. I'll give you a close-up on the propolis, you guys. I mean, honestly, look, if you can get one thing, okay? You can't lose with Total Immune. You can't lose with Propolis Pure. If you can get two things, it's like Total Immune, Propolis Pure, right? If you can get two things, that's how critical that is for our immune systems right there. That's how critical that is. All right, you guys, we're talking about all kinds of good stuff, flu and everything else, and post-flu and post-RSV and white lung and noroviruses, which are going around. And we talked about like manufacturing. They got the manufacturing plant right there. They're growing the viruses, spawning them right out of eggs themselves. And then they get released magically into our environment, and it hits the village right here. And then they calculate it on the calendar of when they're going to release the next one and next one, because they want to clobber the crap out of everybody's immune system, and they want elderly people to die early. So that's the plan. And if you don't believe it, then fine. It's all make-believe. Sure, we can think that. Maybe it's just all make-believe and it never happens. No. And that's fine. Whatever you want to think. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? All right. So what I'm doing right here is I got my Total Immune right there. I take shots of it. I put it in the shot glass just like this, okay? And I'm going to pop a little bit of orange juice. So I want to talk about this. There's a lot of people that even though these don't taste bad, these taste good. Some of the Vimergy products taste amazing. That people don't like to use water. They can use juice then. So here I got some fresh squeezed orange juice and pouring it in. There it is. And, All right. Top 20 things to keep a strong immune system. Get plenty of sleep. But what if I can't get plenty of sleep? What if I can't? What if I'm working too hard? What if I'm too stressed out? Get a minimum of 8 to 10 hours a night sleep if you're actually somebody that's having any kind of problems. Okay, yeah, easy for you to say, let me just magically sleep 10 straight hours because I have such an easy life. Maybe I'll sleep 12 hours because I have such an easy life. Like, okay, look, maybe some of you guys do sleep 12 hours because, you do. But I'm just saying that a lot of people can't get that 12-hour sleep in. I've had 2-hour nights. I've had 4-hour nights because I had deadlines on stuff. When I did the brain books, I was sleeping like 3 hours on the average every single night to get those brain books to everybody. It was like 3 hours of sleep every night. What if you can't go and just have this magical, nice life where you're sleeping 12 hours a night? What if you can't? I know I sure as hell can't. I mean, crap. 3 hours a night of sleep when I was doing the brain books. So yeah, so guess what? I cranked up my subs, right? I cranked them up. Total Immune wasn't out at that time. Right? But other stuff was, right? Cranked up the Golden Seal. I cranked up the Propolis Pure. I cranked up my B12. And that's what I used to push through and to do that. Angela over there. Okay, on X. See. Do the skin potion. It will help your hair too. Christina Lee says on YouTube, what are your suggestions for night shift workers? I'm a nighttime post-production coordinator for a TV show and work 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. Hey, you're on my schedule. That's amazing. But am often up until 5 to 6 a.m. How do I need to supplement my body? First and foremost, right? Always remember that even if you're not sleeping, if you're just laying there and you're resting your nerves and your eyes are shut, your immune system is recovering just from that alone. And I want to say this is very important for people who can't sleep or can't get enough sleep. They're working hard. Everything's off, right? Is that when you're even laying there, you're laying there and you're calm and you're shutting your eyes, your immune system is responding and it's reproducing and it's building back up. Even if you're just laying there, you guys, keep that in mind. Even if you're somebody who's struggling with insomnia or you have some kind of sleep issue, your immune system is sitting there building and rebuilding up when you're actually just laying there with your eyes shut, relaxing. Keep that in mind right there. Okay? What I would do if I was on your schedule, which I am on your schedule, pretty much, I'll work 20-hour days or whatever, and I'm on your schedule where I'm working all through the night too. I've done that so many times. I crank up my micro C. I crank it up. That is something I do. I crank up the micro C. I crank up the B12. These are some of the things that I do. And then I focus on hydration. I focus on a little bit of coconut water. I focus on, right, my celery juice. If I can get it done. I focus on that. There's other things too. And I don't eat really heavy meals. That's one thing right there. I don't eat real heavy, dense meals that are fatty. I don't eat big fatty meals when I'm underslept, because that's a recipe right there for a heart attack. Right there. You're eating heavily laden fat, overt fat meals. Now, all the vegans are doing overt fats. That's what they're doing. They're all doing overt fats. All the animal protein people, they're all doing overt fats. If you're working really hard and you're not sleeping much, cranking up overt fats is like asking for a heart attack. I mean, so I make sure that that's not happening. That's important all on its own. Yep. Great information, you guys. Talk about rebuilding the immune system a little bit. A couple of things you can do, right? Okay. I was going to the top of the list. What you'll see out there is it's happening now. It's like 10 great ways to rebuild your immune system. Sleep a crap ton of hours. Stay away from fried, greasy food. And the list goes on, right? There's a whole bunch of things out there like that. Okay. And so my list is making sure I got enough zinc, making sure I got the micro C, making sure I'm taking my propolis pure every single day, making sure I am hydrated, but not hydrated with like garbage stuff, not hydrated with alkaline water, products and stuff like that on the shelf where they're like, this is alkaline water. And you guys seen what's happening out there, right? There's some bad stuff that's happened. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I've been telling people, stay away from alkaline water crap that's out there. How many years have I told people to stay away from that? And look what just happened. I mean, it was just terrifying what just happened to people out there, right? It's like, there's a lot of things that I do to keep the immune system strong. And what I do is I eat every couple of hours so that my adrenals aren't flooding. So if you want to keep your immune system strong, you want to build your immune system back up, you make sure you're not trashing your adrenals. Get caffeine out of there. Get caffeine out. That's critical. By the way, there's no science behind caffeine hurting the immune system, but recently I saw something out there of somebody like, stay away from caffeine. Really? Because there's no science that says it. Science says caffeine's good for you. It's crazy. So, that's how it is. But the point is staying away from caffeine. Eating every couple of hours. Don't intermittent fast when you want to rebuild and recover your immune system. Don't do the intermittent fasting. where you're on coffee all day, and then you eat a big greasy fried meal at the end of the night, or a big overt fat meal at the end of the night. I'm intermittent fasting, my stomach's staying down, I'm not as bloated, and at night I could eat what I want. Yeah, you just trashed your adrenals. People who intermittent fast, they seem to improve, but do you hear about like things like 5 years later? Ask them then. Oh yeah, I don't know. My health has been really gone to shit. All these different things. Yeah, but you were on social media talking about how you're intermittent fasting 4 years ago and how great you were doing. Yeah, but then I went to carnivore and then I got really sick on carnivore and then I tried this and then I tried that and I was trying this new program that I just purchased for $5,000 from this guy that says he's a chiropractor or something like. And then I just did this and did that, and people are just like they're everywhere. And it's like, yeah, because it didn't work. Intermittent fasting burns out the adrenals. So what I like to do is I like to eat every couple of hours. I'll have a banana. I'll have some oranges, right? I'll eat some cucumbers, right? I'll drink my celery juice. I'll have a little coconut water, okay? I'll have some fresh squeezed orange juice, okay? And then, but I'll be eating. I'll have some dates. But I'll be eating every couple of hours. I'll have some greens. I'll have some collard greens and some dates. And I'll just eat them together. I'll have some kale and some dates. I'm just saying that this is what I do. And it's to keep the adrenals strong. Then I'll have some steamed potatoes later. But it'll keep the adrenals strong. And it'll also stop the adrenals from releasing. And that lowers the immune system. There's so many things you can do. I mean, that's what I do right there. Keeping myself like stable so that I'm not burning the gasoline in my body, which is your adrenaline. I'm not burning it all out. And then I do medical medium recipes, like medical medium soup recipe. There's so many soup recipes and light options in the medical medium books that are incredible to help protect you if you're not sleeping as much, if your immune system is low, if you got to support and rebuild your immune system. Liver Rescue Smoothie rebuild your liver's immune system. Heavy metal detox, the medical medium heavy metal detox, incredible for the immune system. So yeah, all these things. You guys know the tools. You guys read the books. Definitely. Organic red apples? Yeah, they're wonderful. Do you remember the whole green apple thing? Remember the fruit fear was so bad before medical medium information cracked down on it and broke its back? Do you remember that? And when literally every single acupuncturist, naturopath, herbalist, DO, functional medicine doctor, MD said, stay away from red apples. Only eat a green apple, low glycemic. Just a Granny Smith apple is all you're allowed. The rest is just Atkins, where you're just eating meat, and you can have a green apple. How stupid was that? The point is we broke down the walls of fruit fear. And yes, red apples, you're allowed to have. You guys, anyway, check these out. So let me run through them a little bit too, right? That's the Propolis Pure. That is a gift from God. That's what that is. The Propolis Pure is a gift from God. It truly is. I'm going to pour a little bit out here. It's like this. It's the way I like my propolis. I just pour a little bit right out. I'm going to do a little cocktail right here. I'm going to do some Total Immune. I'm going to pop a little Golden Seal in here too, as well. Let me pop some Golden Seal in here. Nice. I'm going to pop a little bit of B12 in here too. There we go. Right there. Looking good. I'm going to pop a little fresh squeezed orange juice right in there as well. Okay. And there it is. You can mix it if you would like too. You can mix it in your little shot glass. I've never mixed it in a shot glass before. I'm actually trying it. Of course, I make myself a mess. There we are. That's my little immune system rebuilding shot. Huh? What? Bartender, give me another. Too good. Can I have some of that orange juice that's spiked? And I chase it down with a little bit of orange juice. So good. Bartender, give me another. Mr. Ferguson, get Mr. Ferguson downstairs. You guys, this has been incredible. We covered a lot of stuff. We talked about the intestinal tract. We talked about the different bugs that are going around, how they're going around, how they release them out there, why they do it. We talked about supporting the immune system in so many different ways. I love you guys. Listen, make sure you sign up to my newsletter because I'm going to be doing a book signing in person, and it's going to be in LA. I don't have the dates yet, but I'm working on it. It's going to be in LA. I've never done a book signing, an official book signing ever in all the 10 years and all these books and everything. I've never done one, and I'm going to do one in LA. I hope you guys, if you're in the area or if you're heading out there, I hope you come and bring your books. Just bring your old books. I'll sign up your old books right there in front of you. Voila, that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm just letting everybody know to keep a lookout for that. So, and make sure you're signed up to the IG broadcasts where you get a DM message from me, because I'm going to leave like really great stuff, information from Spirit of Compassion. And I'm going to leave a Telegram message tonight. Be sure to subscribe to t.me/medical medium. That's my Telegram. Rosangela, AW, could we have a little soul talk, please, or just some enduring words of wisdom? It's a crazy time at the moment. I'll do that tonight. I will actually leave a Telegram, and I'll do some soul talking on the Telegram tonight. I don't know what time, but I'm going to do it tonight. Yes. Wondering, wishing, good to see you on YouTube. Yes, Telegram message. Yes, Telegram message. You guys, incredible. So yeah, check things out. Oh, Medical Meme Podcast at Apple Podcast. Black Tongue. Yep. It may not be interesting to someone until you get one and you got a black tongue, and then you're going to be interested. Crispy Perspective. Hey, Crispy, you leave some serious comments. There's one that you left recently that I read that I was blown away about. OAW, I'm at the vet emergency right now due to my dog having been attacked. Stomach in knots. I'm praying for you, Crispy. Okay? I'm praying for you and your dog, and I'm so sorry. Stomach is in knots. Mine is too. I do have a weak spot, a real serious weak spot, and that's animals going through anything. That's just that's my kryptonite. MeTube 787, wine was recommended as a health drink for pregnant women 13 years ago when my wife was pregnant. 13 years ago, that's it. Just 13 years ago. Check this out too, okay? Wine was recommended by podcast doctors up until a few years ago. Until they were kind of like getting scared that we talked about it so much being that bad, and they're like, oh crap, the medical meme community and the medical meme information is taking a turn and pissing everybody off. Terry Johnson over there on YouTube, I knocked down shingles with zinc shock and propolis shock therapy. Added to total immune and move forward rapidly. Yeah. Amazing. Elaine, I would love the spiritual book, please. I was delayed on the spiritual book because of all the lies and crap and false stories and all that like stuff that they try to do, framing me and everything else for something I didn't do. And so, yeah, pretty sick, right? Pretty demented. Just slowed everything down. And no, I don't have a spiritual book right now. But yeah, I would love to do one and finish one. Maria Manfredini, so thankful for this info and you. So thankful for you too. Thank you for being here. And I mean that though. I actually mean that. Yeah. You guys, incredible. All right. Love you guys. I will see you next time. Let people know where the info's at so they can heal. Yep. And give me a thumbs up or a like or whatever it is on YouTube or whatever whatever, platform you're on. That would be amazing. Zero VR AW, please tell me it is possible to heal allergies to dogs. I've had a lot of people heal their dog allergies. I'm going to do a podcast episode, a Medical Meme podcast at Apple Podcasts, and I'm going to be talking about animals and stuff at some point. So just listen out. Yep. All right. Okay. All right, you guys. Oh, wait. So you want to actually heal allergies to your dog allergies. Yeah, a lot of people have healed their dog allergies, their animal allergies, the cat allergies. A lot of people have using medical meme information. So many throughout the years. So many. Keep a light heart. Always ask your doctor what's right for you, but keep a light heart. But yeah. Okay, right there. EO fruit and veggies. I almost thought it was fruit and sandwiches. No, fruit and veggies. I've healed pet allergies right there on YouTube. Thank you for actually telling everybody so you give them the inspiration, because that gave me inspiration. It's giving them inspiration. Maria Isabel over there on Facebook. Thank you for all your valuable information. Thank you for being here, Maria. I do appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Veronica, thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Veronica, for being here. Over there. You guys. Truly many blessings. Yep. And love you guys. I do. Guys on TikTok, I'll see you next time. You guys on YouTube, you guys on Rumble, I'll see you guys next time as well. And you guys on IG, I will see you next time. Take care of yourself.